Like the What's Your Story, young man host Kenneth L. Morgan. I'm joined at this time by Darius Daniels, along with his wife, Michelle Daniels. We are in Edenton, Georgia, at God of Peace Ministry, where the pastor is Michael Brown, First Lady Vicki Brown. We're excited about being here. We're having a good time. It's good to see everybody. We're actually doing reflections at this time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give Darius a chance to go ahead and give his reflections of faith deliverance when he was just a young man. Amen. Coming when we was in Covington, Georgia. So at this time, Darius.
Well, praise the Lord. It is truly an honor and a blessing to be out here to experience this reunion of Faith Deliverance. I do have a lot of memories as a young boy going to Faith Deliverance during what we used to call leadership conferences. That was my highlight of the summer, to be able to meet up with friends that I haven't seen all year long. And I used to especially like to come to Covington, Georgia, because I knew we would have a good time. I knew the music would be good at church, and I'll be able to get my shout on and cut up with friends. So those are some of the memories that I have of Faith Deliverance. I used to enjoy being with the youth during the day sessions and just, cutting up with friends that you don't see on a regular basis. So those are some of the fun memories that I have of being associated with Faith Deliverance. And my association with Faith Deliverance really has brought me to the place where I am now. Bishop Robert Beeson has been an inspiration in my life. He has deposited so many wisdom bits in my life that I'm using those things as I am a man right now, as we're starting a ministry in Jacksonville, Florida, called the Church of One. And we're using those wisdom bits that Bishop Beeson has deposited in me to be able to thrust the ministry that God has for us in Jacksonville, Florida. So I just thank God for Bishop Beeson. I thank God for Faith Deliverance. And I'm going to let my wife share a little thing about Faith Deliverance.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody, and greetings. I am a Faith Deliverance baby, and Bishop Beeson is my father, and we grew up over the years in Faith Deliverance. We had some of the most awesome times, memories, going on trips together, traveling as a ministry, being able to sing in the choir together. We had some of the most talented people that you ever want to see a part of one ministry. And, it's a blessing to be here today to see some of those that I've not seen in so long. And it's a blessing that I'm still here. And I thank God for the foundation that was laid for me back then. And I still, even now, now that I'm grown and we're in ministry together ourselves, I still reflect on the times that we did have at Faith Deliverance Church. And there was so much love and respect for one another amongst us at Faith Deliverance Church. And I really believe that the love bonds are still there. So we thank God for this opportunity to be out here at God of Peace Ministries. What a beautiful facility. And we thank God for Pastor Brown and Sister Brown for opening up their doors for us just to come together and fellowship over food and fun. We just thank God for this opportunity and pray that we will have an opportunity to come together again. God bless.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them on the spot, because you know what they always say about pastors' kids. Now, both of y'all are actually pastors' children. Darius, I want you to just give us a little reflection on what it means to be a child of a pastor, and for you to go through being a child of a pastor to the extent that where you are now a pastor yourself. And the same thing with you, Michelle.
Well, some of my reflections of being a PK, as people refer it to be, is that people tend to put us on pedestals where they themselves can't stand. And sometimes, the people put you in high esteem where you're just trying to be yourself. But it also has its privileges, because what are given to our parents, we have access to that as well. And I understand that God has given me the insight of how important it is to be a preacher's kid or a pastor's child, because what God deposited, what God gives them, He gives to us if we want it. And I have understood how privileged I have been over the years with the wisdom that God has given my father. And I'm glad that I was able to just go to my father whenever I could and just ask him questions, just to sit down with him, just to have men talks, because I'm glad my father wasn't too holy to have men talks with me. I'm glad my father wasn't too holy to, take me to football games or take me to basketball games or baseball games. But I enjoyed my life being a preacher's kid. I didn't let people put me in a place where I didn't want to be. I just wanted to be Darian. That's all I wanted to be. I just wanted to be Curtis Daniels' son. That's all I wanted to be. I didn't want to be nothing more than what God wanted me to be. So I didn't let people put me in a place where I didn't want to be. I wanted to be what God wanted me to be. So just one thing that I just encourage those that are preachers' kids or pastors' kids, just be you. You don't have to be no one else but you. And God will do the rest. God will do the rest.
Well, I'll piggyback a little bit off of what he said, and it is so true. There are many expectations and things of that nature when you are coming up as a preacher's kid, but I thank God for my experience, because I think that it really shielded me from some things that I could have potentially gotten into as far as dangers of the world. And I just, I appreciate God for my upbringing. I really enjoyed those times as a preacher's kid. And I think now that we're in ministry, I think that it has helped shape us and mold us into who we are today. We know the ins and outs. We know some of the things behind the scenes maybe that others have not experienced, and therefore we can govern ourselves accordingly, and we can glean from the wisdom, we can glean from the knowledge that we received back then. And I am appreciative, and I thank God that I am a product of Rosalind Beeson and Bishop Robert Beeson. I thank God for that. And I really wouldn't trade my experience, because I know that it has developed me maturity wise in my character. I have been developed as a result of the things that I was taught as I was brought up. So I thank God for that opportunity, and the Lord chose to choose us, and I'm glad he did. And I just give all praises to him, because he truly is worthy, and we thank God for what he has done in our lives.
Okay, well, that's real good. So we're going to go ahead at this time. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back in Edenton, Georgia with Faith Deliverance Reunion.